All right, the clock time is 7:08. We just finished running 4 miles. This is the Finance Friday mentality. I'm gonna tell you a quick story of how I started getting out of the corporate 9-to-5 grind, how I started turning around my entire life so I could live life on my terms, with freedom, with energy, with enthusiasm, with joy, with hope. I used to wake up really early and show up to a job for a Friday meeting. It was a big group meeting, and he used to have maybe about 25 people in there. And the meeting started at 8 o'clock. So we would all show up in there, and everybody would be kind of dragging through because they really didn't want to be there. And we would go through this checklist on this PowerPoint, to go through all of our bullet items. And a lot of those bullet items were reoccurring items over and over and over again for weeks, months, sometimes even years. We used to table things and then come back and then do it again and talk about it all over again. So this morning meeting, I said to myself one day, I said, Rajesh, do you really want to be here doing this? And the answer was no. But how I got to that point was I had to first search myself. I had to search my heart and had to ask myself, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing here? And what stories am I telling myself, or excuses that I keep on telling myself as to why can't I ever improve this aspect of my life, which is career and money? And it got clear. I was busy planning for the holidays. I was planning for the weekends. I spent more time on doing fun things with people that I enjoy being with than really taking the time and understanding how can I start switching this attitude that I have towards my money and towards my career or my life's work. You see, we have this story that I'm going to go get this job and it's going to be my career and I'm going to be in love with it. But there's a lot of people, in fact, I'm pretty sure probably about 95% of the people don't want to be working their jobs that they went to school for, or they've gone to school, got degrees, and got jobs in totally different careers than what they studied. So people don't really necessarily want to be doing what they're doing. So I said, okay, could I learn new skills? Yes, I can. Could I grow? Yes, I can. You see, the story we keep on telling ourselves is, oh, I got bills to pay, I have responsibilities, and then we stop there and then we work our job. But we don't finish the story, which is, I got bills to pay, but am I a highly educated person? Do I have time? Do I have resources available to me? Yes, I do. Can I study? Can I learn new skills? Can I apply myself differently? Can I take a leap of faith in areas that I'm a little too scared in? The answer is yes, I can. So we don't finish the story. We just stay with the story that we've been feeding ourselves over and over and over again. Okay, so now when you change the story, you got to change your attitude. You got to change your work ethic, because as you start moving towards this big grand vision of your life, it's going to take new work ethic. It's going to take new ways to apply yourself in places that you're really uncomfortable in being in, because you're going to do something new. Okay, so you gotta root out all of this old thinking, old habits, and this is very, very hard for people. This is where people miss it 99.9% of the times. So Friday, after those meetings, right, people would be just coasting. They would just be taking it easy because it's a holiday weekend. So why should they work? They're planning their holiday weekend. They're planning their barbecues. They're organizing all these things and contacting all these people and making all these plans, right? But they don't plan. Why don't you plan for your financials like that? Why don't you plan for your future like that? Why don't you plan to get out of work like that? Like, put that much energy and effort into that aspect. Why don't you do that? It's because of the stories that you keep on telling yourself. Okay, so I would work on a Friday. I would work really, really hard on a Friday. And while everybody was cutting out because it was a holiday weekend, or it was right before the holiday, or they were just going easy, I was staying there working. I worked, and I didn't just work the job. Okay, I worked my passion. So after everybody left at like around 2 o'clock, right, I would just be working straight through. And as happy hour would roll around and the crowds would transition, because I worked in the city at this time, I would still be working. Then the sun would go down and it would be night and I would still be working. And the security guards used to walk around and do their security checks and stuff, and they'd see me there in my cubicle and they'd be like, wow, why are you working so hard on a holiday weekend? Shouldn't you be out having a good time? And I'm like, yeah, I will. I'm just, trying to catch up on loose ends. But, the point that I'm trying to make is that work your passion just as much as you're gonna work towards having a great holiday weekend. And that daily discipline of working hard on a Friday, staying longer and later and not cutting out, radically changed my entire life. That one little change radically changed my entire life. So from, when everybody left at 2 or 3 o'clock, from 3 onwards to like 8 or 9 o'clock, I would hit it as hard as I could freaking hit it with building my brand, building my business, building the contacts, the networks, the resources, getting the emails, getting the phone numbers, building relationships with all these people that are outside of my network of people. So that, because I knew that's the direction I wanted to go. And I did all that homework for months and months and months, actually years, every Friday, and it radically changed my life. Okay, that one little change, ask yourself this: if I just give up one holiday and I work my ass off, for financial freedom, that could be the difference of actually getting it or not. Would you make that sacrifice? Would you do that? The answer would be yes. If you knew that's all it took, you would do it. And that's all I kept on telling myself. It's just one Friday of working my ass off. That's the difference. This one email, this one phone call, okay, that one step, that's all it takes. It's just one step. People think it's this big, long, big journey, and it's unachievable. It's a lie. It's the lies we tell ourselves and the excuses we tell ourselves because we haven't convinced ourselves, and because we don't have this fight mentality. We're around the 99% of the people who have settled, who have just decided, I'm going to work this job, this is as good as it's going to get, and they're grumpy, they're complaining, and their attitude sucks, and they're dumping it out on you, and you've allowed yourself to buy into those lies because you're afraid to get out of that group of people, because now you're alone. And now you're like, I don't know what to do. I'm all alone here. This sucks. This hurts. Nobody's around me anymore. I have no friends, no support. And it's really difficult for people. And people miss this because they're not strong enough to believe in themselves and their passion and their dreams to pull them and do whatever it takes. And then take everybody along with you that you love and care about. I love you guys. Have a good Friday. Live free. Live amazingly.